The case study that I chose was Netflix. The history behind Netflix, it was founded in 1997 as a DVD rental services. This service, it was a the service was a subscription-based model, so allowed customers to rent DVDs online and have them delivered by mail. This changed the game actually because a lot of people had to go to red boxes or something similar to rent a movie. Back in the days, it was way different than now we have streaming services. It was way difficult to have DVDs or even a show in your house. In 2007, Netflix introduced streaming services. They turned from DVD rental to a streaming services because YouTube had already started in 2005 and they were not catching up in the game too. So they introduced streaming services in 2007, allowing subscribers to instantly watch TV shows and movies online. If Netflix before they allowed subscription to, but now they were allowing streaming services with subscription because it allowed for people to have access to TV shows and movies from home, which is like a theater base, like bring theater home or something like that. Then the challenges that they had to go through was one of them was understanding. They created a friendly market, but they had to understand that renting a DVD was expensive at first. Before it was really expensive to rent a DVD and even go to movies just like today. And they wanted to have access to all the movies that they wanted. So they created the company in order to provide a wide range of movies in a friendly price market. So they understood the market and they understood the need of the people. So they created this company in order to meet the needs of the people because they also just didn't want to be at the movie all the time, the movie theater, but they also people wanted to watch movies at home. Then the other challenge that they had was ideation. So they they started as a they started the streaming services because the whole world was changing. Everything in the late 2000s, people were moving from DVDs to streaming services. So they, since they have the DVD by mail model, this allowed the experience to be friendly, the user experience friendly, because the subscribers did not have to wait for the movie to come to the mail and wait like probably like 5 days or something like that for the movie to come up, but they didn't have to wait any longer. They can just turn on their computer and they could just watch a movie whenever they wanted to. So now the other challenge that they had to do was prototyping. So they test new features. Actually, they test new features on beta users, which are users that receive new features in their account first, and that gives data to the company back. So if the new features are useful for the company or not. So it's a really good idea because they have some type of like beta thing that the users can just use, and they can see if it's useful for their company or for the style, and if it's gonna be worth it at the end. And then lastly, the lastly they had to the outcomes that they had was brand recognition. Is Netflix is one of the biggest companies out there for streaming services. Honestly, I feel like it's still one of the biggest, even though there's a lot of streaming services out there now. But Netflix was one of the first ones to come out with movies and shows, and it changed the game. Even though YouTube was already out there, but YouTube did not have movies or TV shows. They had more like people creating content videos for them to upload to the internet. But now Netflix was a they created this big company that have made loyal customers, and they had adapted to the change, and they have showed leadership. And then the idea of using the internet to the fullest and keeping the end users, keeping us in mind the whole time is what makes Netflix what it is, you know. And they have a lot of great ideas. They consider the user interface, because even though we can see that we have personalized UI, so it makes the users want to be on Netflix. Even though the cost is increasing, they still want to be with Netflix because it brings theater experiences to homes.